What happens when you overflow the Dryad's corruption counter? If you didn't know, the Dryad's corruption counter can actually exceed 100% corrupt, since her calculations incorrectly exclude non-solid evil blocks while counting. This means it's possible to have a world be more than 100% corrupt, since there are more evil blocks than solid blocks. From here, we can then push the corruption counter to reach as high as 255% corrupt, crimsoned, and or hollow. This is because Terraria stores the Dryad's percentages as an unsigned byte, which with its 8 bits can only store numbers up to 255. Due to this, the Dryad will only ever show a world as up to 255% corrupt, crimsoned, and or hollow. However, there's nothing stopping us from pushing it further. A 255% corrupt world would have 2.55 times more corrupt blocks than solid blocks. In practice, this would be something like 51 corrupt thorns and 20 stone blocks, or 255 corrupt thorns and 100 stone blocks. So what happens if we just add another corrupt thorn? This should be a 256% corrupt world in the eyes of the Dryad, but because an unsigned byte can't store a value of 256, it should overflow, putting the value back at 0. Looking at this, it seems to be possible to achieve a perfectly pure world by actually making it more corrupt, overflowing the counter to trick the Dryad into thinking it's completely pure, which would be very funny. Unfortunately, that's not quite what happens. If you do actually overflow the counter to 256%, it doesn't reset to 0%, but instead 1%. Huh? How did that happen? This is because of a special edge case in the Dryad's code. If the Dryad's code would say the world is 0% evil, but there is at least one evil block somewhere in the world, the Dryad will insist the world is actually 1% evil. This is to ensure the world is actually pure before declaring it so, as otherwise any world less than 0.5% evil would round down to 0% in the code and erroneously be declared pure, even when it isn't. Unfortunately, this also makes it impossible to overflow our way into purity, as with more than one evil block in the world, the Dryad will insist the world is not pure, even when the calculation gives us 0%. While this ending is quite sad for both Dryad haters and weird exploit lovers alike, it does make for some funny scenarios. For example, this world, which consists of 20,159,744 Crimson Thorns and 1 stone block for the Dryad to stand on. In Dryad math, this world should be about 2,015,974,400% Crimson, while in human math, this world is 99.999% Crimson. Despite literally the entire world being nothing but floating evil surrounding her and her 2 precious stone blocks preventing her from falling into the infinite abyss of her own creation, the Dryad will still confidently assert the world to be 1% Crimson, because all of this still overflows that byte back to 0. A true persistent case of the blind Dryad, if you ask me. I guess this isn't as cool as sticking to the Dryad by purifying a world with evil, but I guess this is the best we'll get. Hello, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, as only a quarter of you are. Similar videos are on the left and right. Either way though, thank you for watching, and good day, and goodbye. See you next week.